Hi, and welcome to Musicians Hangout with your hosts, Crash Fist Fight from Fatal Butterfly and Maxine Maxwell from the Maxwells.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's great to be back.
Happy Wednesday.
Wow, and what a week it's been.
I was just going to say, we hit some milestones this past week, for sure.
Did. Oh, my goodness. I mean, we started out last week with, we made 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we were just so excited. And then you, Crash, you made us a Facebook page the next day.
Thursday. Thursday morning.
Yes. And wow. We were hoping to get, 100 likes on Facebook, but we ended up getting
1,100 likes.
1,100 likes. Thanks, everybody.
So thank you, everyone. So, and here's our host or our guest host tonight. Hi, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
So, Maxine was just going to tell us what our mission statement is.
Definitely. So our mission statement for Musicians Hangout is to be part of a revolution to create friendship with other artists and build a community network to save music.
Absolutely.
A welcome toast.
Welcome.
In fact,
thank you.
I actually have toast while I'm interviewing Toast.
We have a toaster.
Yeah.
Me too. I love toast.
Toasty toast. A toast to toast with toast.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. And a Bloody Mary?
I have cider tonight.
No, was that a Bloody Mary Tony's got?
No.
Oh.
This is vodka and ruby red squirt, and it's amazing.
Oh.
And water, because I need to stay hydrated.
Got to have the water, the balance,
Yes.
So how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. We just got done having a show last Saturday.
Very cool.
We actually promoted that show for you guys.
We did.
At Cats. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band Toast?
I'm Chris. I hit the drums.
Oh, we were going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Drummers.
Okay. I'm Michael, and I play rhythm guitar and backup vocals.
I'm Brandon. I write songs and sing and play guitar.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's great. And we actually met you guys when we played, and this is 2020 at the Columbia City Theater in Seattle.
Yes.
So it's good to see you guys again and hang out.
Yeah, we had a blast that night. You guys were awesome.
You too. Yeah, it was
Definitely fun seeing you guys. My daughter was actually at that show too that night, and she really, really liked you guys. She actually asked me who you guys were. So that's awesome.
That's always good to hear.
Because she's 21. So you know how 21-year-olds are.
She was having fun that night at the Columbia City Theater.
She was, and I was.
Heck yeah, we all were. We were all having a ball.
It was the first time that her and I actually got to have a drink together.
Oh.
So it was actually, and it was the first time that she was actually able to come to one of my shows.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Well, I tipped my hat to her. She was very responsible. She walked to the venue and
yes.
So yeah, very responsible.
Mike's got a boy. He brings him out every now and again.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When they're all ages.
Yeah, and see, I feel like we need more venues that do all age shows.
Uh-huh.
But it's hard because a lot of them serve hard liquor. So
right. Yeah, so it gets a little sketchy and a little iffy because you don't want to have to be watching for that too much. We want the kids to be safe.
Right.
Well, I get why venues put restrictions on it because, you know, those kids are sneaky.
Yeah, these days.
We were once sneaky kids, right?
Sneaking liquor out of the parents' cabinets.
So Maxwell says toast.
Toast.
Say, oh, can we say hi to Max here?
Yes.
You can say hi to anybody. Get all your friends on here. In fact, you can start watch parties on
Oh
Facebook
yeah.
and include
Really
everybody.
good.
I'm going to do that right now. So
I'm
that
gonna
I can put it on my page.
I'm gonna send them. Julian's not here right now. I'm gonna forward that link to him. All right.
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
Can he join in from like via wherever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure can. That's the beauty of StreamYard.
Mhm.
We all don't have to be in the same location.
No, we don't.
As long as you know there's Wi-Fi and a camera, then you are good to go.
I'm sending him a message right now. It says, hey, hit the link, join us.
Click the link. We're live right now.
So what's up with you guys? Any new music coming out? I saw you were recording the other day, Maxine.
Yes. So we're finishing up some recording. We got 2 more songs to get drum tracks to, and everything's coming together really well.
Are you doing it all by yourself, like at home?
Yes, we are home studio based, and Max does all of the recording and the mixing and mastering for us. So
That is cool.
a toast to Max for being that guy.
Cheers. So
Cheers, Max.
Cheers, Max. Love you.
Husband.
Oh, okay.
Husband, right?
Yeah, husband, yeah.
And guitarist.
And guitarist, yes.
A lot of Maxes in the Maxine Maxwell. Then he's Maxwell then?
Yeah. We are the Maxwells. Easy to
And there's the Maxwells.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh, the chat room's blowing up over here. Cheers to you guys. Hey. Thanks for
Cheers,
joining.
everyone. We have Scott and
Sean. Hi, Sean.
hi, Sean.
Is in the live comments.
Oh, yeah, we got live comments here.
Are you
Oh, hey,
sure?
My girlfriend typed in.
Hi.
Comments. I think that's what they're
Yes.
doing all the. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hi, Kurt. Oh, my gosh. Coming out to see you on Saturday, Kurt. Out in Port Angeles, Death Fetish, my friends in that band, they're playing. Over at the
How's the music scene on the other side of the sound?
You know what? It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, but what's interesting is like, because I'm a high school teacher, I don't go out a lot around my hometown, and I mostly go out when I play music, if that makes sense, or I'm here recording or here just living life. And I've actually met more people through this show that live here and made friendships and connections that way. It's really cool. So shout out to Kurt. Shout out to Isabella from Port Angeles.
You know, it's tough supporting other bands like face to face when you're in a band. Like, you know, I'd love to go to all the local shows available, but you just can't.
Right.
You know, it's like the other night, but I swear all 6 of like our Skagit Valley bands were all playing the same night. You know,
Oh,
and so-
yeah, that happens so
and
much.
so- yeah, so you can't. Not only does it divide the audience a little bit, but it doesn't give you access to go out, you know, every night of the week.
Yeah, it gets hard. It really
Yeah.
does. And I get it. I want to support everybody too. And like I said,
I try to do my best online, just being as active as possible, like support people.
I really respect that about artists that are able to connect online every day. It's been inspiring to me. When we had Coley on a couple weeks ago, he talked about how bands need to promote themselves more, and it has to be every day on every platform. And I've been trying to post more and trying to keep fans in the loop on what we're up to. And
Yeah, about a year ago, I started running my Facebook page like a radio program, where it's like Mondays I have this, Tuesdays I do this, Wednesdays. That way, at least every day I'm posting one thing, like, you know, and for instance, we had like Mondays were our local artists of the week. And so we'd announce our favorite local artists and we'd showcase all their stuff every day.
Oh, that's cool.
For the 5 days. And then Tuesdays are usually like Top Track Tuesdays where we give a song away for free for 24 hours. And then Wednesday we would do a good way to like connect with the band was to have like Wednesday night playlists.
Mm-hmm.
And my attitude was like, Wednesday night is usually a karaoke night at most bars. And so I was trying to like, okay, well, that's usually a night when people might want to play an album or play 2 hours of music. And so with making playlists, I was having each member of the band make their own playlist of songs that you like and what you're into, because, you know, it's not everybody in the band has the same style or the same interest in music.
Right.
And so like, I felt like that was a Cliff Note, like quick access way to get inside your band members' heads and see where they're coming from musically. Like what are your influences and what kind of playlist would you put together? And so we were doing that for a few weeks, and that was good. Thursdays were quote of the week, and then Friday was go check out even if we had a concert, we were showing like another concert to go see.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we do that too.
I like that.
You know, musicians hang out. We do that for our peeps, man.
And so like having that schedule for the week, it made it really easy when it came like Tuesday, like, oh, I don't know what to post. It's like, oh, you have something to do. You know.
Yeah, it's really interactive. That's so cool.
Yes.
And I really like your art and your cartoons that you have part of your band and part of is it a record label, right?
More of like distribution.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was for Bigwood Records.
Yes, there we go. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, the cartoons were, I guess, a way to, like, I don't know, like if immortalize is the right word, but to just create like a character that you can't erase it.
Right. Yeah. And you call it getting toasted when you characterize other people. So
yeah.
So I have a request. Are you going to toast us?
Eventually, I just toasted another local musician from Skagit about 2 days ago.
I saw that. I'm a little jealous. I'm like, oh, lucky, got toasted. I was really drawn into your art. It was really cool to see your guys' merch table at that concert we were at. And that's what really inspired me to chat with you guys and get to know you, is like you had that presentation.
Yeah, we worked hard on it all year, just putting together random pieces of art. And then it all just started like full circling. I was like, wait a minute, this is like a whole series now. Because we had comic books, we had trading cards.
Oh yeah, I remember the trading cards. That's cool.
I have a toaster now which displays our CDs.
That's awesome.
I like the whole coloring book idea.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
That's not a bad idea because
that's a really good idea.
I have all my cartoons they're like, because I use Microsoft Paint to do them all.
Yeah.
So I have like just the stencils of them. I could just print the bodies and you can sell coloring books.
I love it. I love that idea.
That's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
I'd probably just like pen it in and then just make a bunch of Xerox copies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have most of the art stenciled out, so I could.
It's like a big Sharpie, just like.
Oh, yes. And we want one.
You know?
We want a coloring book.
Yes, I want a toast coloring book.
So, Toast is in the market for recording right now.
And
Oh,
our friend Jeffrey says that those cards are awesome.
Hey Jeff, what's up?
I saw he also ate a piece of toast.
Yeah.
That's
Jeff
awesome.
was a cool guy. Me and him were rocking out during the Maxwell set.
Dude, Jeffrey is awesome. He was our roadie that night. He has been our roadie for a few shows, and he's a good friend. He's just a good friend. And he's such a big supporter of everyone in the music industry, and I just love that about him.
Well, when I was on stage that night, I was asking for a rum and coke, and he ended up getting me one, so I appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
That is Jeff.
Oh yes,
He is amazing.
yes he is.
And what was amazing with Columbia Theater, like that, the sound was great.
I know, it was
Oh,
so
I know.
awesome. What a beautiful venue. Oh my gosh, I feel so honored to have played and shared the stage with all of you and the other bands there. It was just an amazing night.
I didn't really care for like having to lug the drums up the stairs.
The stairs.
Well,
That sucked.
that was the fastest, like from the street to the stage. That was like what, 2 steps?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. But like after the show, you know, before you have to go and get your vehicle and you have to break all you have to hoof it up all those stairs.
yeah.
So they I was
That's
thinking about-
okay. It was worth it. I feel like.
so that night was, you know, like you were saying, like it was a really special night. Like somehow a lot of like-minded bands and people connected in one evening, that rarely happens. It hasn't happened for us in the last year.
Oh yeah, you know, it's been happening more and more for us, I guess. And it
Because
feels
we're taking it back.
Well, what I want to say is like
we are a team, all of us. You know, like
there was a lot of outgoing bands, like very not shy. Like some of the bands, like I go to like shows and they're just in a corner. They don't say hi to nobody.
what?
Yeah, you know, they just sit there and then they go on the stage and they leave. Some bands are just so like
Antisocial.
yeah.
Oh, I get.
Man,
And then, like, you guys were awesome. I ended up connecting with the Maxwell's Bullet Hole Concept. We played with him again. He was a talented musician.
The ugliest man alive.
I didn't have a chance to talk to them.
Oh yeah, we
But I
talked.
talked to that kid that did the Jake. He did the Pink Floyd
keyboard?
cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
And their band's Radical Honesty.
Yes.
mhm.
So we're playing. They're joining us for my birthday show at the Mercury on
Nice.
March
We'll have
1st.
to talk about that at your neck of the woods when it comes time for that.
Yeah, definitely add to our neck of the woods when we get there.
Yes.
Yeah. Promote yourselves, guys. That's what this is all about.
And then Tony, I see you guys are playing at Tony V's.
We are playing on the 7th, and we are playing with Penguin Dive or Peregrine Dives and Voodoo Death Guns, and then we are playing the next night at the airport with my friends in Antihero and Severed Head.
How do you feel about doing those twofers?
I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, it is exhausting being a drummer doing it and having to like sling your gear back and forth. But at the same time, I don't have to unload my gear.
Right.
I got to be honest. Like when we do the doubles, like Fridays and Saturdays, our Saturdays are usually like meh.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, because we give it all on Friday night, and then you're trying to like, it's like, hey, do it again, and it's tough.
I've actually
I would compare it to like trying to like recreate a first kiss or something. You know, like you just.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. We've
It's
done
like, hey,
it before.
do that take 2. Like I have the same problem in studio.
It's not the same.
Yeah, sometimes in the studio, like during a scratch track, I might just give way too much, and it's like, fuck.
Where's the band?
No, I think it's different for us because we're drummers. So like the first day is all about us anyways.
Mhm.
So it's just your scratch tracks. For us, like we have to give our all because these ones count. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It'll quit it, be done, so you can move on to everything else. That's
Yeah, and then it's your guys' turn. Well, if
Well, how do
if
you
they're
guys-
good scratch tracks, I always say, you know, if they're good scratch tracks, keep them.
right.
Keep
Use
if they're
them.
good.
I tend to do that in my mixes.
Mhm.
Like I'll do an overdub, but
Yeah.
usually the overdub is just polishing out the scratch track.
hmm
You know, I hardly ever delete the scratch track or mute it. Even if it's way, way back in the mix, it's there.
Yeah.
I like to leave all that stuff.
It's funny you said it was different for drummers because I was gonna say like if we do 2 shows in a row, that my Saturday night might be better because the Friday,
Up in loop.
Yeah,
I get you.
practice, and then after that, you know, I'll have the kinks worked out.
Yeah.
But then I've only been with these guys for a little over a month, and
Yeah, just about.
so I'm still working out kinks as it is.
there have been times where I had shows like at 7 or 8 p.m. and then I had to know another show at like
Later.
10, 11 p.m.
I tried to double gig.
And let me tell you, those double headers kill you as a drummer.
Mhm.
I have a humongous kit. Like, it's huge. I have 2 double kicks, 3 rack toms, a floor tom, a snare, obviously. And then I also have like 7 cymbals. It's a lot of damn gear. Plus, you know, hardware. There's a lot of gear. There's a lot. And to like, you know, break it down, set it up, break it down, and set it up, and break it down. And then let's not forget about the load, unload, load, unload, load. It's a lot.
Last summer, I was trying to do a double header over at
And that's
when
too
I was
old
down.
to be doing. Where? Wait.
We were getting a delay. But I said last summer.
I'm like, wait, what?
Last summer, I was trying to do a double header in Everett, like from Tony V's, and like a block away is Black Lab, and they were like, Ben at Tony V's is like, you can't do that, man. He's like, you can't.
Ben is a stickler. Like, I've known little Ben, and there's like a rule.
Yeah.
The 30-50 rule. Like, you can't do a show 50 miles within 50 miles and 30. So that's why I feel confident that I can do the Tony V's and the Tacoma show because that's more than 50 miles. So
I went and saw Anvil at Tony V's last summer.
Wow.
And that
Tony
was
V's,
blast.
Virgil is going to be so mad at me, but
I was so shocked when I saw that their event flyer and it said Anvil's coming to Everett, and I was like, no way. And it was the Anvil, the Canadian band.
That's
I
awesome.
remember that show. I remember that show. I was really surprised when Guttermouth played at Tony V's. I was like, wait, what? I think the last time I saw them was at El Corazon.
Speaking of El Corazon, that's where Johnny's playing, or The Warning is playing tonight. Or not tonight, but they have a show coming up.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Who?
The Warning.
Yeah, the one.
Oh, it's the 31st. I actually know Steve from The Warning. We were going to play that. Well, he asked us if we wanted to play that show, but unfortunately,
Yeah, same with us. But I told him,
we
like,
can
we're
not.
in Bellingham on the 1st of February. I was like, I can't go to Seattle and then Bellingham the next day.
That would be hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Actually, let's like talk about like where we're all at this moment. Like,
So we're in Burlington.
Nice.
wow.
About an hour north of Seattle.
Yeah, I think you're our first band from Burlington. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm in Lake Stevens.
There's a lot of good bands out here. I just found out Woodshed. They're local. They're from Berlin.
And we know Woodshed.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't met them in person yet. They're cool guys. I'd like to play with them this year.
I saw them with that Battle of the Bands a couple of years ago.
Cool.
They fucking rock.
Yeah.
My
Music-
boyfriend's band, Nocturnal Mayhem, played with them at the Charleston in Bellingham last year.
We were trying to play that Shed Fest last summer.
Yes, he did.
Speaking of festivals, are you guys having any festivals this year?
Yes, I'm booked for 2 festivals this year. So the first festival is actually at Tony V's. It's the Hybrid Festival on May 1st.
What?
And there's an awesome freaking lineup for that.
I
And
didn't know Tony B's does a festival. Is it part of the?
Oh, he
It's
does
true.
festivals all the time, actually.
great. So I found it interesting after I had mentioned that I really wanted to play the 2 venues, Tony V's and Louis G's. Louis G's is in Tacoma. And I mentioned that I wanted to play those 2 venues, and then bam, I got into these 2 festivals through the local spot. So Aaron Torres is the head booking agent through that, and with a really awesome team. And yeah.
Do you guys typically use booking agents?
Sometimes, but usually it's with other bands. Like other bands call us, or we get a hold of them, and then that's how we roll.
Yeah, we usually get called up.
We're still on the outward end of the phone calls, reaching out to people and stuff. Like this was the first show in a year second show in a year where somebody reached out to was the Columbia show. That was the second show that we had anybody reach out to us, and that was nice. It made things so much easier.
It does. It really does when people reach out to you, definitely. And that's how we got started in the city. Because I'm in Squim, so I'm out on the peninsula.
Yeah, I remember you said that. I was shocked when you said you're driving home after the other show.
We're badass like that.
Yeah.
Thank Max. He's the one that drives us. So I can, rest my drumming arms. Yeah. Hey, guys, I was going to ask you earlier, why is your name Toast? Where did you come up with that name for your band?
I'm dying to hear this story.
Yes, please tell us.
It was not even it's not even that creative. It was
It's only the acronym.
well, I guess the acronym, but that came out later, like a whole year later. But I guess I'll start with the name Toast. So Toast started I was jamming with the original lineup, and after I showed them all these newer songs, and they're like, "Hey, these are cool." I was like, "Yeah, let's get some. I'll try to get a few shows, and let's just play some of these songs out." And none of us had played a show in a while, and they're like, "Well, what do you want to call this thing?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, that there's that bread band from the 70s. I was like, if they can be bread, we can be toast.
Yes.
And so that was it. Stone bread equals toast. And then this summer, like Chris was saying, the acronym. So this summer, we were at the Galaxy Far Away Fest in Bellingham, which is a sci-fi Star Wars themed costume 3-day camp out.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's so much fun. So in a festival state of mind, somebody asked me what TOAST stands for, and I looked at him and I was just like, theoretical opinions about space and time. And he was just
Love that.
he's like, that's fucking awesome.
It is.
I do like that.
So, I did too at the time, I guess, but I forgot completely about it. And then about 2 months later, we're playing a bar in Cedro, and I overhear the same person sitting in the corner. It was our buddy Nick, and he's in the corner talking to someone who's like, "Man, this band's awesome. Who are these guys?" And I hear him say the theoretical opinions about space time. I remember looking at Nick and I was like, "You fucking remember that?" And he's like, "No, I'll never forget it."
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But I did. I forgot it. I would have never remembered that unless he said it.
Well, that's
It-
I love that. That's a great story. Thank you.
That is a great story. That is an amazing story, actually.
Now, how long have you guys been a band?
Toast has been gigging, performing band for, I would say,
Over
since
a year and a half.
about a year and a half. Like, we had our first show like the beginning of August, the end of July in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, toast. Are you eating toast in front of us?
Yes.
Yes.
Eating one of our cousins.
I have toast. What do they call these? Toast ends or toast squares? Toast something?
I don't know. I haven't heard of.
What is like the end of the bread?
Bread.
Well, no, those are the heels, but I'm just saying, like, when they're cut into like quarters, like
The wedge?
toast wedges. Yeah,
We'll go with that.
it's a wedge. Well, I guess it's a wedge.
Like a toast wedge. Mine is
Yeah.
homemade sourdough that Max makes.
Oh my god, you really are spoiled. Let me.
Homemade.
Don't play with me. That is homemade bread with the yummy, yummy crust, and it's sourdough, which is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Max.
Ooh.
Baker.
Guess what, Max? You get to make me some sourdough bread next time I come visit.
Yep. You will have some, friend.
Mmm.
I remember I had some bread like that. Remember that grilled cheese sandwich I woke you up?
Heck yeah.
We were at a Star Wars fest. I'm eating this grilled cheese sandwich. Mike's passed out. I was like, yo, Mike, you need some of this sandwich. Trust me, it's bomb. It was a grilled cheese sandwich for some, like, I swear to God, it was made in some, like, stone cave or something. I don't know.
That was a good sandwich.
The Hobbit guy made it. Like, it was just this creature running around. It was- looked like he was eating mushrooms straight from the ground. I don't know.
What is
Oh,
that guy's name?
Themed festivals, man. They're the best.
Yeah, we did Hempfest. Oh, that first summer we did, but honestly, like, it was cool to do and be a part of.
What stage were you guys on?
Sealy.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, the Sealy Black stage. I got a VIP pass over here hanging on my guitar. So I was like,
No, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
yeah,
Congrats.
that was really cool. So Kalig, or we call him Johnny from The Warning, he or Keenan, he got us Hempfest.
Oh, nice.
Really?
He was the sound guy at Tony V's that night when we first played there. And he ended up calling me and said a band dropped out. He was like, hey, you want to play at high noon on Saturday? I was like, hell yeah. And we were, at that point, like a band for like 3 weeks. Like, none of the guys knew any of the songs, really. We were still figuring them out. I think I showed him, like, our first song, Lost Found Shoe. I think I taught them how to play it wrong. Like, and then, like, about 2 months into it, I was like, hey, you guys, it's not a fucking G. It's an A sharp or a G sharp or A flat. And
There's a big difference between a G sharp and an A flat there, pal.
I'm a
Like,
drummer.
huge difference. I may be a drummer, but I got to tell you what. I was a bassist for 28 years, too. And I know the alphabet. I may only be able to count to 4, but I at least know
the G sharp and an A flat,
G. I can get a G sharp.
they might share a same sound.
That's a whole entire step between A sharp or was
No.
it A?
No, G sharp and A flat is the same.
Wow.
What?
It is. It is. Oh, touche. Touche.
I am not a drummer. I'm like,
At the same time,
I
as
think
a bassist,
it's more common.
there are no flats in the bass. It's only sharps and regular.
I always call I usually call it an A flat.
That's why I stay out of those kind of conversations. This is all.
Here's the thing.
Thank you.
I did
So my band, the Fatal Butterfly, the guitarist in my band decided to have this genius idea. You know what? Let's tune down to E flat. Wait, what? Wait, what? E flat? Who the hell plays an E flat? Apparently, a lot of people do. I did not know that. But they did it because there was a song that a fill-in drummer wanted to do. Well, I was on hiatus there for a minute. I had some medical issues going on there when I had cancer. And I was going through some rough times then, so I needed, somebody to fill in for me. And she's like, oh, well, let's do a cover of this song that you can't find on YouTube, but I just happen to have it on my phone kind of thing. Oh, it's an E flat. And because it's it's different, that's why our guitarist is like, oh, we're going to tune down to this, and this is how it's going to be. But she wants me to write songs for the band. I'm like, well, I write in standard E's.
Man, speaking of writing process, guys, tell us your writing process. How do you guys?
Yours?
I just make the shit up. I really do.
You guys like come up with a riff, or do you come up with like a drum beat and they try to like match, or like do you come up with words first? Like,
I think I'm super impulsive, and so if usually it starts with a riff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and so like I'll be playing my guitar, I'll play a riff, and I'm like, "Ooh, this got me." And then if I like something, I start singing. Even if you wrote something, and I caught you, I walked into a room and you were playing something, I would start singing over your music, and I just
Yes, I do that all the time when Max is doing riffs. That's why we're like, "Ooh, that's good."
Yeah, and I get inspired quickly, and so then I just say shit, and I don't usually write in like a forward moving direction with lyrics. Like it's like the beginning, middle, and end. Like some of them are just fucking one line after like one liners.
Yeah, you just keep pumping it out and it's going together and it's making sense, and it's like, where is this coming from?
There's a general idea happening, and like as a listener, you might be feeling like, okay, I feel what's happening, but I don't know why I'm feeling like this. That happens a lot. Like, you'll notice that, like, if you watch a Toast like concert, there's some people just stand there and stare, like they're looking at like a car wreck or something, or a train wreck, and they're like, and not in a bad way, but they're just like shocked, and we grab their attention to the point where they're not even dancing; they're just staring. And I don't know. Some people say that the music makes them feel stoned, so.
Oh, that's funny. I got toasted with toast. Hey guys, so tell us a little bit about how you started out as a musician. Like, when did you guys start playing your instrument? What inspired you to become a musician?
Well, I think Chris is the longest playing musician out of all of us. So do you want to
tell us a little bit about that, Chris?
I still have what I call an obsessive compulsive tapping disorder. Like if I go without playing my drums for too long, then I'll just start.
Yeah.
Like I have Tourette's, And when I was in junior high, one of my buddies who was already a drummer, I asked him to teach me some stuff because I was always tapping on my desk. And my dad's a drummer too, so it's in my blood. And
yeah, mine too.
Yeah, it's therapy for me, for one. But even longer than I've been drumming, I've been coming up with lyrics. So we might be changing our songwriting process a little bit. We've already done it a little bit where I've shown Brandon some of my songs, or just sang them for him, and he put on a key reader just to figure out what tone I was making, and then you would make a riff to that.
Yeah. So basically, as Chris was singing,
Yes.
I just threw a tuner app on, and I could catch like the notes he was singing through the tuner. Like so,
My bass amp does that.
Sometimes you have a song in your head, and you're just like, no, 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 no. And you're like, oh, that was C-A-G-D, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just a quick way of like, okay, let's maybe start with some of those notes, and that worked out because I had never written music to words before. And so I was like, sing it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to listen, like where, and like what are the notes you're singing? Because he already had a melody in his head.
Wow.
When you were singing that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the beauty of singing is you can make up your own cadence, your own rhythm to the song. It doesn't have to match exactly. But
that's so fascinating that you were able to reiterate that back though.
Yeah.
By doing that. That's genius. I love it.
Well, Chris and I both are builders.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think my ability to problem solve is really, really high. Like that's one of my skills.
Yeah.
So my
and so I just come,
reader, I like that. And then
try-
we have my bandmate, he says, I love the name Toast.
Yeah, so do we. I mean, and it's not like it's,
Definitely easy to remember.
Yeah, it's super easy to remember. To tell people, they're like, hey, what's your band name? Toast. Like, oh, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
You know,
we get that too. The Maxwell's is easy to remember. We hear that a lot.
My daughter was really into toast. Like she had everything was toast, 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 toast. I didn't get it, but I guess a lot of teenage girls at that time were into toast.
Oh, you mean like years ago?
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What? Do tell. This was a fad, like a thing.
Apparently.
Really?
I don't know. I'm on the parents' side of this.
Actual toast?
Yes, it was like they would have T-shirts of just pieces of toast on it. And just like toast. Like my daughter had a wallet that it looked like a piece of toast.
Oh wow!
This
So
is the that was at the Columbia City Theater.
No, this is my older daughter, and this is when she was like 14, 15 maybe, and she's like 23 right now. So it's been a bit, but everything was toast, 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 toast.
We'll introduce her to the band,
So, Chris, did
I am gonna.
you started music?
Yeah, I think so.
What about you,
Basically in high school, and
What was your first kit?
oh, it was a percussion plus, like real low end.
Right, got you.
But like I said, my dad's a drummer, and what he always told me was it doesn't matter what the make of the cans are. It's really the heads.
It's the heads.
As long as you got them tuned right, then it's all good. And then I went through a phase where I had an addiction of buying drum sets, so I ended up
Ooh, I'm sorry.
always looking for them at pawn shops, and I ended up at one point having like 7 drum sets,
Whoa!
and just
Wow.
You hear that, babe? 7.
Yeah. Hey, I just got my first one this year.
right.
I just have one humongous one.
That's
I
including
do.
like a little kid set that I got for my son, an electric drum set, which those are a whole different ball game.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. And then, so finally, I sold most of them, and I put 2 Thomas sets.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
Thomas sets that I coincidentally bought at different pawn shops, like 4 years apart from each other, but for the same price.
Oh.
And they
I'm
had
in the same color.
they had different size tom toms. So no, they're the same color too.
Oh.
And they had different size tom toms. So I put them together, and now I've got 6 toms. And just a,
Yeah, you think I have a lot, Maxine? You hear that? 6.
and just a whole bunch of symbols that I've collected over the years. So I've got plenty of options.
I have 3 toms and 7 symbols. But
Yeah. I normally just play with 3 symbols. But
well, I use all my symbols. Like, that's why I have them all.
yeah, well, it creates a lot more diversity.
Well, hang on, Chris. Hang on. Cody Miller says he's an aspiring musician.
Yes.
To learn the bass and eventually get into the band scene. What advice would you all give me to help me improve and grow into play every day, Cody?
Yeah.
Before I even finish reading it, play every day.
Especially if you don't want to. If you don't feel like playing that day, that's when you got to practice.
Record yourself playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big part.
Yeah, look at yourself, see what you're doing, criticize the shit out of yourself. This kind of goes back into
And you will be your own critic too, because every time I hear a recording of myself, I'm like, oh my God, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. I don't want to hear it. But then the more I listen to it, I'm like, actually, it's really not that bad. But
some people, so I grew up with a varsity
hearing myself.
varsity athlete background, which I don't think is very common in music. And that created for me a sense of self-motivation and self-drive that
Makes sense.
Like to really be good at what to be not just good, but to be like one of the leading people like in that what you do.
Mm-hmm.
To maintain that you're first, second, or third place, like that takes the extra effort. That can't just be done with just showing up to practice. Like to take that to like a sports example, I mean, as soon as practice is done, that means you go home and then you run around your block for an extra hour.
I can tell you this. Right now,
Brandon.
I am absolutely the world's okayest drummer. But I am the world's betterest drummer. So there's always room for improvement. But as it stands, I'm the world's okayest drummer. Now, I put a lot of hard work in.
If you make a drum beat, I can play to it.
How do you guys feel about like the whole music's not a competition thing?
We are really trying to make that happen.
Right, we are that. Like, that's why we started this show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's part of our mission statement to be, a community network that helps each other grow and promote each other. We're in this together. The music scene has changed so much. Like, why not?
We're too old at this point to play games anymore. We're not spring chickens. We all know we're not gonna get anywhere besides,
the only competition
scene.
So why not have fun with it? This is
I want to just seriously have fun because I'll be 36 out here in March.
I'm 10 years older than you, so it's like, we're not
21.
I'm old.
Or even the 18-year-olds.
We're not gonna be pop stars.
No, but that's
right.
But I want to be able to. But I want to be able to maintain an
we have families and jobs.
I feel like I'm investing. I feel like right now I'm investing in my future in music.
Right.
In local music because I want to be 50 still.
And that's okay because here's the thing. There's always going to be local music.
Right.
Exactly. We're so fortunate here in Washington with the amount of artists that we have from
exactly.
All of it.
So awesome to be, around so much talent and to be.
I just really wish that our venues
oversaturated with it, but it's all right.
Well, it seems oversaturated because all of our venues are starting to close down. We've had a lot of venues up here in the North End that just closed down.
Mm-hmm. Especially Seattle. Yeah. Excuse me. Especially in the Seattle, yeah.
Left and right and left and right, and there goes another one, and oh, there goes that one, and whatever's happened to that one? Oh, it's closing down. Now the Red Door is closing down.
Well, and it's not just here. This is nationwide. This is worldwide that, you know, local music is having a harder time finding venues to play.
And I feel like maybe it's YouTube's fault. And I know that we use YouTube as a platform for our show, but everybody is just streaming their videos, you know. Look up Billie Eilish. I hate to say this, but she literally recorded an album in her brother's bedroom.
And you can
software.
Yep.
Won 5 Grammys. Totally swept it. Totally swept the Grammys. Won everything. And I was a little upset because my favorite band, Yacht, who was up for a Grammy.
That has nothing to do with music, though. That's just marketing.
It does, though, because she is big and well known on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
YouTube is killing the local scene, I feel like.
Yeah, but they are local too. They started out that way. Like,
right, but they didn't play venues. They did YouTube shows. That's my point.
Those YouTubers haven't put in the elbow grease, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes
So
sense.
I think Tony's trying to say that there's just an alternative platform to instead of going
to venues and playing venues,
They're
playing on YouTube and posting videos on YouTube. And if they're just posting on YouTube, nobody's going to the venues. No one's buying their drinks. No one's paying the cover. No one's keeping music in the venues alive. And that's what's killing our scene. YouTube. Video killed the radio world.
Well, I think some of it is too, like what we ran into last weekend where there was 6 bands playing at all the bars. Like, if there could just be that one bar, like, where everybody went to go see the live music.
Right.
And you just had to get into there. If you wanted to play, you had to just play there.
It's becoming more like that. So
it used to be like that, though, back in the day. Like, it used to be, oh, if you're playing Tony V's, like, you must be something. Or if you're playing Louis G's, you must be something.
Well, yeah, because now it's like this. I see the same common, like, 15 to 30 people at each show. Like, instead of seeing 100 at one, it's just like there's little subgroups of audience to split up.
Right.
So.
Or remember Studio 7? That was another one that if you played Studio 7.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And then
big deal.
They made you pay it.
Yeah, I played Studio 7 and I had to pay $250 to play.
I paid to play Studio 7.
Yeah, and it's like a must thing now that it's Club Sir. They're like, well, just give us. We're gonna give you all these tickets. You gotta sell the ticket, but we're gonna take all your money until you reach, $250. Then you get to keep some money.
Yeah,
we all know that because we're local bands, we ain't selling no 25 damn tickets.
I did the first time, but it was to friends and family, and some of them couldn't even make it up because they're either here or not.
Be supportive.
The whole Columbia show, I marketed like that.
Yeah.
I think I paid out of pocket like 5 or 6 tickets just so I can
have something in there.
Well, no, because the booking agent posted whoever, the first few bands, like, you get to pick your time slot if you've already crossed your 25.
So here's the deal with that. So as you guys know, that was a Media Pop hosted show, right? Media Pop is the one that got a hold of you.
Yeah.
Well, they are also another company called Superior Booking.
Yeah, I noticed.
Okay, so it's going to be the same contacts, the same people, same shtick and spiel. So, and I feel like us musicians, we are worth more than that, and I feel like they should be paying us $250, and once they pay us $250, then
they make money.
Then they can make money.
Yeah, then they can make some money.
here's where I'm at with bookers.
Because you know that if it wasn't for us playing these venues, those people wouldn't be there to buy their drinks and food indoors, whatever.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the
You
point
know,
for that.
so and we're the ones putting in all the work. We're the ones advertising for it. We're the ones
That's what pisses me off.
practicing for it. We're
And
the
they
ones.
take their,
You know,
and then they take their 30%. It's
oh
my
yeah, like musicians, we're really getting raped in this business, and it sucks. But
Yeah.
do it for the love of the music.
And that's why we do it. That's exactly why we do it. Like,
well,
Because you know, some shows you're having to get your 2 drink tickets because lately they've been shoving it down to 1 drink ticket.
fucking
And
or none.
Yeah, we didn't get any at the Columbia.
None at Columbia. We got 0 drink tickets.
Yeah, no, we didn't either. But I'm just saying, a lot of venues will be like, "Well, here's your drink tickets. That's what you get. Maybe you might get like $10 from the door. We'll see."
Now we got treated very, very well at the Woolly Market.
Oh,
Good.
that's
They
that's
They gave us cards for as much beer as we wanted.
So they have a self tap wall where it's like they have like 40 or 50 beers on tap.
wow.
nice.
Walk up like a soda machine where you just and you put in your little Chuck E. Cheese game card, and then you just watch it pour like a gas station, and the pump just goes like 20
Oh my
cents,
God.
40 cents, 50 cents, $1.20, $1.70, yeah, $3 beer, all right. And you can just keep going on. So they gave us those cards, and they just let us pump
Go
beer.
out. Just fucking have at it, kids. Just go out with it.
$48 beers, dude.
Yeah.
It's the black card of the beers.
It was cool. They treated us really well. Then they did a little interview for us at the end of the night. They shut down the store and recorded us a little private music video, which should be airing pretty soon. That was through Road Rambler Productions. Shout out to those guys. They're in Cedro. Hit them up.
Well, you guys, if you don't mind, it's almost 8 o'clock, and I've got a segment called Music News. I'd like to highlight. Not too much. I didn't go out of my way for music news because I was like super busy today. It was the last day of the first semester, so I was wrapping up the classroom and getting ready for tomorrow to start out second semester. But there's some exciting things in the music world. As we were talking about Billie Eilish before, she actually made history in all sorts of ways at the Grammys in 2020. She became the first woman to sweep the Big Four awards. So I heard 5 earlier, but I researched it, and it is definitely the Big Four awards. She is also the youngest star to do so. Her Grammy performance of When the Party's Over is pretty moving. I didn't watch the Grammys, but I was meeting with my department, and within the fine arts department, the music teacher was actually asking me my opinion on the performance, and I hadn't watched it yet, so I watched it, and it's pretty awesome. Like, for somebody to record in their home and be so revolutionary with her peers, with her generation, I tip my hat to anybody who's able to do that in the music industry anymore. Moving on, Taylor Swift documentary rocked the Sundance Film Festival this year. It premiered on Thursday night last week. At the festival, it was Miss Americana, and it highlights the star's success, but also raises awareness to eating disorders and sexual assault. After the 2017 case to sexual assault, Swift feels more empowered, and despite all of the drama that came with getting mega fame as a teenager, she has found her own voice. And kudos to Taylor Swift for advocating for women in the music industry.
Yes, thank you, Taylor Swift.
And really, honestly, I'm more of a metalhead, so I don't really listen to a lot of Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift, but I respect them for the things that they are doing. They're just.
I mean, I respect them, but I don't know who they are, though.
I got you.
I always thought Taylor Swift was a talented songwriter.
There's a metal version of one of Taylor's songs that I just heard at karaoke. I think you were there that night. And where the lyrics work for metal because she's talking about being a monster, in a
Yeah.
relationship, and this dude was singing this Taylor Swift song, but it was completely metal.
Heck yes, that would be cool.
So I'm sure it's on YouTube. I haven't looked it up since
check
I
it out.
saw that, but
Very cool.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah. So also I wanted to tag on to music news, our news. Crash, you and I have been making some
Yes.
movies. And
it has been a very, very busy week. It's been exciting, stressful, like stressful
Yeah.
in a very good way, as in lots of stuff has happened, and it's been very exciting. So, as everyone knows, we have finally reached 100 subscribers on YouTube last week, which is incredibly hard because there's so many YouTube channels out there, and to get somebody to subscribe to one, you would think it would be easier, but it isn't. It just isn't. But because we hit 100 likes, and a couple fans were like, well, where is the Musicians Hangout Facebook page? Maxine and I decided that it was finally time to make a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So Thursday, the day after the show, I made a Facebook page and I sent out invites. And the first day we had 100 likes by the end of the day.
And that was exciting. We were like, yay, we reached 100. That
Yeah.
was cool. You know, like,
Yeah, we just hit 400 on our toast page like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, then the next day we hit
Those little
200
milestones are
likes.
cool.
By the end of the 5th day, we were at 900 likes.
You guys
And
go over 1,000.
yesterday was our 6th day on Facebook on Musicians Hangout. And we reached 1,000 by the end of the day. And today we have 1,100. So we want to thank our fans so much for supporting us. Like,
definitely. We feel the
that is
support.
awesome. Yes.
I just can't believe how many people are sharing our page and encouraging others to watch us. And we have fans from all over the world that are messaging us, getting a hold of us. We're booked out into April.
Yeah, we have one day available in March, but yeah, we're in April now, kids. So
I just sent 801 invites for you.
if you want to be on Musicians Hangout,
Please.
I love that new feature, that face select all. I love it.
oh, I know, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have so many friends, unfortunately, that I reached my limit really quick. But Maxine told me a way to get around that.
Right. So you can't get
So-
around that.
I was able to send out like a couple thousand more. So.
You have to go in and physically click. So I would go in and physically click about 50 to 60 at a time until I brought my number down under 1,000. And then when you are about 900, you can send to all 900 at once. And I love that, but you can't go above that. That's their limit.
I clicked select all on mine and I was at like 3,100 and something. And I selected down to like 1,900 and it still let me go. So
That's awesome.
maybe it's just a percentage. I don't know. Facebook is weird.
It could
I don't
be
know how it works.
right. I don't either. We're just kind of muddling through.
Everybody who tunes into this show knows that we are not tech savvy.
Right.
No, we have to figure it out.
We're musicians
Yeah.
and we're drummers, so we don't even know like pedals. What the hell are
Or
pedals?
notes, apparently.
What did they screw in at? Like, I don't know. I play with sticks.
So you guys, either of you played?
Sticks. That was so great to see you cooking with your drumstick.
I don't have a wooden spoon, and
I'm getting you one.
Anthony wanted deviled eggs, and I forgot to keep the eggs out and warm them up to room temperature so they don't crack when you put them in the boiling hot water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they were cracking left and right, which made it bubble over, and all I have is plastic, and it doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that would maybe.
So I'm like,
help.
hand me a drumstick, just anyone, just get it out of my stick bag.
Totally get you a wooden cooking spoon shaped like a base.
I
They
tell you what, that's my drumstick worked like a charm though.
That's
It
good.
really held it back. I was pretty surprised because it kind of raised like this much above the pot, and I was like, ooh, but it never spilled over. I was pretty impressed.
You know, I didn't
Thank you,
hear the
Victor.
rest of your stories with starting your journeys as musicians. So
Mm.
tell a little more about how you were inspired to start playing what you play, and yeah. Go
Well,
ahead.
we know what they play.
I don't know how inspired. I always say it was like the calling from the church, like they wanted me to become like a priest or a nun or something.
This guy called me after playing 3 months of guitar, and he's like, "Hey, Mike, you should pick up a guitar, like at the pawn shop or something, and come play guitar with me because I want someone to play with." And I was like, "All right," and I did. I got a guitar and I started playing.
It was so random. Like honestly, like one day, like I'm serious, like Noah being like, "Go build an ark." I was sitting at home.
He said, "Come play guitar."
Yeah, seriously.
I'm
Someone's
playing
like,
guitar.
I turned 27 years old. I was well beyond at any point to like learn something new, but I mean, I did. And like Mike said, about 3 months later, I'd written a couple of songs, and it all happened really, really fast. And I needed somebody to like jam with. And so I was like, "Mike, get a guitar and I'll teach you how to play."
And I always wanted to learn how to play guitar, so I was like, "All right."
Yeah, so he was motivated.
I didn't even question it or like think twice about it.
That's cool. I love that.
I just went for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're older, so it's like we didn't have access to YouTube.
Right.
Like, you know, you had to be a rich kid
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to play music in the 90s and in the 80s. You know, music
Lessons.
you had to get music lessons and pay for teachers, and that never even works out usually. So
I
It
took the orchestra in school, so I guess I got the teachings from there. But yeah, I had a full-time job, and I had to put my first bass on layaway and make payments on it until I finally got it. And I didn't even have an amp or anything. I'm just over there just strumming it out.
So I used to own a guitar in my early 20s that just sat and collected dust. I was like, I always had music and songs inside me, but I never knew like how to get them out. And like my approach at the guitar was way overcomplicated. I was trying to learn guitar through tabs and stuff, and I didn't care about any of that. I just needed to I just wanted the root notes and give me some bar chords so I can just get the song written out. And that was what happened later in life. But you know, at first, like that guitar collecting dust was, I almost want to say like more of a burden, because I spent a lot of years of frustration and like not wanting to play or advance at it, if that makes any sense, you know. And I didn't have a teacher. And then in my late 20s, YouTube comes around, and that gave me access to say like, I am the king of how to do anything, like on YouTube, like how to fix this, how to cook this, how to draw. Like I go to how to everything on YouTube, and I literally like how to write music, how to play songs, and how to write a song. And then I watched some of those videos about how to write a song. I was like, this is fucking retarded. I was like, I'll never write a song like that. And I think like you were saying, Maxine, about singing over your husband.
Yeah.
Like, when you hear melodies, that happen, and Mike does that too.
Oh, cool.
Like where you hear like you hear something, 3, 4, boom, and you sing it. You know, like,
that's cool.
yeah. And so I guess learning how to write the songs was beneficial at getting myself to perform it all like as a cohesive idea.
Sweet.
That's awesome. What about you? How'd you get into the drums?
My dad, he was always pushing it on me from a young age, and I actually got a guitar before I started playing drums. I think it was my 8th birthday, and it was the same deal as with Brandon. Like, it just sat around, and I wanted to be a guitarist because I thought they were cooler. Like, they're the front man. My dad was trying to tell me, like, yeah, no, drummers are the coolest in the band. You know? Yeah, and I never got it for a long time until high school, and then also it's just so much more simple for me. Like, I even in high school tried playing guitar for a little while. In the classes I was starting to learn, and I'm left-handed too, so like I learned a few songs with it strung normal, and then I restrung it for, you know, backwards for left-handed supposedly, and like I had to relearn the songs, and I still had the impulse to just flip the acoustic over and play it like bongos. And like, forget it, man, I'm a percussionist, you know.
Yes.
And it does make it a lot easier for learning, because you don't actually need a full drum set. Like, before I got my first drum set, I would just bang on anything, you know, and I would set up pillows, and I had drumsticks, you know, I would just pretend that they were the different pieces of the drums and practice that way. And I learned a lot from my dad. Like, he did the same thing when he was a kid, and it was even harder way back in, you know, the 60s and 70s when he started, because his family didn't have a lot of money. And what he said was the reason there's not a lot of drummers is because a lot of parents don't want to put up with the noise.
That's exactly why I never got my own set.
My dad was a drummer, and when I brought my bass home when I was 19, I was hanging out with my grandma at that time. She just came and she just was like, ugh. Well, at least it's not drums. And now I just want to be like, hey, grandma, like, if you guys could see, like, you know, like, grandma, there's my drums now. Like,
there they are.
You would hate me. But yeah.
But that's why I had to get an electric drum set too at one point, because in Mount Vernon, the noise ordinance is, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. If it can be heard outside of 50 feet, they'll give you a ticket. So I got
with like students.
one time at 1 p.m., middle of the day, and then the next ticket they came out at noon, and on the second time they double it up. So it was twice as much. And like, I went to court for it, and I asked the judge, I was like, what do I do? You know, fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly. I have to play my flipping drums. And he's like, well, if the neighbors call the cops out there again, you're gonna get another ticket. And I was like, and like, I was so pissed at my neighbor. But like I said, I was browsing pawn shops all the time, and actually it was at Guitar Center that I found the electric set, Roland set, for just $500.
Really?
An amazing deal, because most of the time electric drum sets are $1,000 or more. And it was awesome, because then I could put headphones on, and you know, I wanted to set the setup out in my front yard with the headphones on, so all the neighbor could hear was me tapping on the pads, which would still drive him nuts, but he wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Then I almost had to relearn the drums, because it's a totally different ball game.
It is totally different.
There's no resonance. It's just like right flipping there, and but it got me to advance my game a lot more, because I was learning something new with it.
First time I got an electric set, I didn't like it.
I don't like it. I'm not.
Most drummers flip and hate them.
I hate them. I hate them so much. For
Well,
some
what I think about that is that when I tried the first set, it was cheap. Then I tried a really nice set over at my friend Kurt's, in fact, and it was way better.
Yeah, the cheap
More
set,
sounds,
they don't do it right on the
better,
mark. The
more
delay is
legal.
terrible.
Yeah. So I was one of those drummers. I was like, I hate electric. And then I tried one that was really nice. And I got to say, it's not my preference. Not at all. But if I had to, they've gotten better. Like, cool.
until I have one of those experiences, I don't think I can say that.
I understand. I couldn't until I had that experience. Trust me. Like,
Whenever I would try out an electric drum set, I would just go on the hi-hat and do 16th notes. And if it doesn't catch that, if there's any kind of delay, then it's like, no, it's not work.
it's like, ew, what is this?
You know, it's like I was reading the rest of Cody Miller's remark here. Cody, Cody, are you still on? If you are, say hi.
Hey, Cody.
It's where he says that it was almost similar to what I was talking about when I started music, which was he had a recent realization in life that he wants to start making music instead of doing what he's currently doing.
We won't ask what you're currently doing, but music is better than just about anything. So
It's a great way to go out on a Friday, Saturday.
Cody is still. Cody's. Hey, Cody, what's up?
Thank you for
Good,
What's up,
Cody.
Cody?
hanging out with us, Cody. That's awesome.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so Cody, definitely pursue this new idea, man. Share it with the world. Share it with yourself every day. Film. Criticize yourself, like I was saying earlier. That'll help you grow the fastest. Also, if you're trying to write songs, record everything you're doing.
Yes.
I don't.
That was what I wanted to
I
ask.
don't write anything on paper.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I write it on paper is once my ideas are done, and that's because when you physically write something, you remember it.
Yep. Just press record on your phone. Even get it recorded.
I have so many things on my phone that are like, I should have, and then I go fill out like, where I mumble stuff and like I will fill out.
You have the technology to do it. Use it. You know, like it's the best way to remember riffs, to remember where you want to put lyrics. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, most of my lyrics are written, improvised on the spot, and I use about 90% of the like what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I call them like mumble tracks, like my scratch tracks. And sometimes I'll just mumble out words and I'll just say random things. And then I go back and listen to it. And I think as listeners, we're all guilty of like hearing songs on the radio
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, well, no, that like where we thought like, you know, like my Sharona, and you know, the whole time you were like my Corona or whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
you're singing and you thought the word, oh, I thought it was that word, and you found out it was different. So
Bathroom on the right.
yeah, so I basically like transcribed my mumbles into what I think I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and then that usually will like I'll come up with something catchy, like, oh yeah, that's cool, and, oh, I think I said this. That is just a very, very easy, loose way to write stuff. I am
Okay,
not,
so my question to you is, are the songs that you sing the same every time?
no,
Okay.
no, not at all. Like
no, he's got some pretty diverse lyrics.
they're random and shit. It's shit like.
So
I guess-
if you have a song called Got Ya, the lyrics to Got Ya are going to be different every time.
No,
Okay.
no. Once a song's written, it's that way.
Okay.
Right. It's the
Okay,
writing process
that's
that
what I
you
was
can
asking.
pick up and change it during
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah, I was
really-
just wondering if it was like, if you had different lyrics for the same song. Yes.
just because the
I
teacher.
am guilty of changing my lyrics from time to time.
Sometimes it just fits better,
I
right?
will literally sing it one way, and then I'll change my lyrics and sing it a different way and sing something else. Still the same rhyme scheme, but it's
So
like,
how does that work? Like once you
Well,
record
that's more
it,
hashtag.
once it's recorded, like it's set in stone, your fans are gonna be like, "Well, wait a minute, that's
Oh,
not
you should see me.
good."
Okay, no, okay, I take it back.
Oh,
I take it back. Wrong call. I sing that song different every fucking time.
Oh.
Do you want to know why? Because I don't remember the lyrics because I wrote the lyrics in the studio. Like, I made up the song one night. The song's about a wrong phone call. So these two
Oh,
drunk,
that could go so many different ways. I love it.
these two drunk gals called me up one night on a wrong number. I answered the phone, and they're like, "Hey, is Kyle there?" And I was like, "There's no Kyle here." And they're like, "Oh, your voice sounds cute. Who are you?" And I was like, "Okay, so I'm gonna sit and chat."
Oh, snap.
So I started talking to them. I ended up talking to these gals for like 2.5, 3 hours. We were just both of us just kept going and going and going. They were having a telephone party, I guess. And they're from Oak Harbor, out on Whidbey Island. And so she, like, I guess long story short, she ends up owning a bar in Oak Harbor. And she invited me out to the bar to perform.
nice.
And I told her I was a musician and stuff. Well, she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm writing music. And the moment I got off the phone with her, I wrote this song called Wrong Call. And it was, I mean, honestly, like, I had just gotten off like a breakup. And so it wasn't like yeah, I get it, but thank you. It's super breakup.
No, so you were like on the prowl. You were like, "Hey."
No, but like,
I was like,
when you go through those changes, like it's an ego check for man, woman, whatever you are, you got to refigure out yourself, even if you got broken up with, you broke up with somebody. So
I find myself the most inspired to write music after heartbreak.
that's both artists. And
Heartbreak brings out the lyricist in me, I guess.
so I guess I was feeling like I had lost some mojo for a while.
Yeah.
And the song lyrics go, last night I made a late wrong call. Last night I made a wrong that isn't right. You make me feel like a newborn boy.
Oh.
And it's super like Ramones punk rock, 2-minute song.
Cool.
I'll share you guys the link sometime. It's
Please
that's one I'm totally guilty of not like. I just
structure.
This is the lyrics. Like I have to learn the lyrics. Otherwise, I know that there's a line about a wrong call and that make a wrong into right, and that there's a last night that's somewhere in there. I did newborn boy. So.
all right.
That's cool.
So
Ash, take us away.
it is 8:23. So this is what's going on in your neck of the woods. So tonight at the Mercury in Seattle, DK0 is playing with Kryptonesia, Pill Brigade, and Seraphim.
Ooh, we played with Pill Brigade this summer.
I played with Pill Brigade at the Mercury also just like a month ago or something.
I thought I had heard the coolest song I think I'd ever heard. And I made a suggestion to Pill Brigade. So they had this song called Barter Town.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were at the Star Wars festival we played at with them, they were on stage playing this like psychedelic heavy metal cowbell. And they were like ding, 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 ding. And we were sitting at a distance at our campsite, and the lead singer was shouting what we thought we were hearing, "This is for the cows!" And then he would go bang, 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 and beat his cowbell.
That would be
cool. Not a cowbell. It was the triangle.
Oh.
And he was just like ding, 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 ding. And he's like, "This is for the cows!" Ding, ding, ding. So I come up to him, I go, "Dude, that song was about cows?" He goes, "No, I was saying this is Barter Town." And I was like, why the fuck would you say like Bartertown and beat on that triangle, dude?
That is weird.
I was like, you should sing This Is for the Cows. It was way,
It's
way cooler.
All right, so we have a lot to go over. So, February 8th in Jolie's Cabaret in London, we have Vomit, Dixie Riot, The Black Widows, Cowpunk, Complete Dysfunction, and Hung Like Henready. February 21st, Misdemeanor Meadows, we have Potbelly, Box Cutter, and Born Sick. February 22nd at Lucky's Club, we have the Googans, Potbelly, and Box Cutter. February 29th at the Shakedown, we have TSOL, Potbelly, Box Cutter, and Fully Crazed playing. April 25th at the Filling Station, we have Potbelly, Bath Salts Brigade, and Goners UK. March 14th at the Charleston, we have Crisis Actors Guild, Kids on Fire, Potbelly, Worth Nothing, Afraid of the Dark, Dad Bod, and Septic.
Dad Bod.
Also on March 14th at Erebus, we have Crimson Guardian, Wrecker, Cherry Bomb 13, The Melting, and Chemical Rage. At the Echo Valor, and on February 15th, we have Scumbag Entertainment, Muddy G, Cosmetic Music, First One, and more. At Club Sir on March 12th, we have Y&T, Custom, and Guests.
Wow.
We have at the Funhouse on February 1st, Sin Circus, who, as you guys can see, I'm wearing my Sin Circus hoodie today.
Yes.
Sin Circus, Christos, South Kitsap Infidels, Machinery of the Universe, Octopus Attack Shark, and Ugliest Man Alive. Knitting Factory, February 8th. We have Piper's Rush, which is a Rush tribute band, Jacob Vanneau, and Chase the Sun. The Karate Church on February 1st. We have the Guillotine Eyes, Cosmo, Toast, and Guests. Also on February 1st at the Funhouse, we have, I swear I just already mentioned this. I did, never mind. It's the Sin Circus one again. People send me so many of them.
Where's Potbelly from? Who are they?
They are a Seattle band.
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Oh, they're like 20 minutes away from us.
Yeah, they're a punk band. Really awesome. So, February 7th at the Swiss. You don't want to miss the Debbie Blackout CD release with Sweet Clarity and Hands of Deliverance. It's awesome. February 1st at the Black Zia, we have Primary Pulse, Slut Penguin, and Patrick Taylor. Unfortunately, Downglow cannot make that show. April 18th at the Real Art in Tacoma, we have The Head Chopper, High Rise, No Face, Great Dane, YBL Lavish, and Smell That Entertainment playing. March 18th at the Mercury, we have Particle Sun, Exprovit, Two Libras, and Orbital Fracture playing. February 15th at the Funhouse, we have Zoth, Blood and Thunder, Siren's Reign, Living in False Eyes, Rain Devil, and Stricken. And I believe this is kind of almost like a bands for bands kind of thing, or bands.
Like a battle of the bands thing?
Yes, I was going to say bands versus bands or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
At the Skylark Cafe on the February 8th, we have The Drones, Sun Red, and Jaundice Beckman playing. Louis G's on April 4th. We have Fallen Kings, Debbie Blackout, Apophis Theory, Apothecary, Hell's Burn Through Life, Permian, six gun quota, Voodoo Death Gun, Hera's Void, and Hands of Deliverance. Sorry, that was a tongue tie. Tony V's on May 1st and 2nd. We have Woodshed, Paramnesia, Blood and Thunder, Soul Instinct, Velvet Jupiter, Cryptonesia, Sovereign Citizen, the Nonprofits, Apothecary, Massacre at the Opera, Burn Through Life, Omega Theory, Cure Michelle, The Maxwells.
Is this that festival?
Yes. Dysfunctional Chaos and Paradigm Shift. And like I said, that's at Tony V's on May 1st or 2nd.
We'll be there. We'll go to that one.
Yes.
April 18th at the Jackson. What is this? Jackson Street Bar House of Music.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
That's a jack shit bar and grill.
And Days, Apothecary, Voodoo Death Gun, and more.
Cool.
On the 14th of February at the Third Wheel, Limberlost, Shrike, and Sarah Wild and The Watch are going to be playing. And then again at Razzles on the 15th. And I believe that's in Idaho. So again, that's Limberlost, The Shrike, and Sarah Wild and The Watch. Louis G's on the 31st of January. Cryptonesia, Face of Loki, Sunshine Wall, Barbarian Wasteland, Massacre at the Opera will be playing. And another show on the 31st of January at Oscar's Roadhouse is the Rockwell All Charged Up. And the Central Saloon on February 11th. Mental Tronde de Jambe will be playing. And that is my friend Jessica Ito and her husband Ito Ito. Ito is a guitarist and Jessica is a ballerina. So
yeah, I've heard of them.
They're amazing. Such lovely people. I actually got to play their reception when they got married.
Does she do like interpretive dance to like his music?
Yes, it's really awesome. Cool. Okay, and then February 7th, Tony V's, Voodoo Death Gun, Fatal Butterfly, and the Peregrine Dives. Then, these are the new ones. Tonight, the 29th, at the Anchor, Alexandra Selly and Mary McPage are playing. Tomorrow night, at the Scoreboard in Massachusetts, Ragged Glory, American Who, Dazed, and Woburn are going to be playing. And that's a show for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So those of you in Massachusetts, please definitely go to the Scoreboard.
Really pushy when he wants
Sports Bar and Grill. And please check out those bands for a great cause. February 6th at the Sunset, we have Afro Cop, Patrick Galactic, and Shania Shepherd playing. Then February 1st at the Charleston, we have RAR, Florida Man, The Snubs, Head Honcho, and The Bitter. April 11th at the Pun, we have Hercules Music, Pure Class Empire, Mo Davis, Get Money or Get Lost Entertainment, Be Vicious and Brandon B, and more with special guest Jacob Van Nell.
Ooh, doggy. Yay.
Oh, yeah, this is Brody.
Hi, Brody.
Okay, the 31st of January, Tony V's, we have Kill Closet, The Ecliptic, and Hands of Deliverance playing. Daryl's at February 8th, The Problem, Sabretooth, Omega Theory, and Palace Hotel are playing. And again, on the February 1st at Daryl's, we have Sun Dodger, Watch Rome Burn, and Death Coach. The 31st of January at the Plaid Pig, Channel 3, Shuttered Faith, Dreadful Children, The Stuntmen, and the Meat Beaters are going to be playing.
Nice.
February 1st at Plaid Pig.
We're done over all these band names are great.
I know. Oh, it gets better.
Love you.
So February 1st at the Plaid Pig, Dead Scent,
Ooh, Plaid
and
Pig.
Hot Spring Water and the Mondays are playing.
Fun.
February 8th at the Airport Tavern in Tacoma, Antihero, Severed Head, and Fatal Butterfly is going to be playing. February 29th, which is leap year day at the Burnt
I was
Wood.
almost born.
Plush
I was
Cake.
born on leap day.
Plush Cake is going to be playing at the Burntwood. I'm not exactly sure where the Burntwood is as we are worldwide. So Google it, I'm guessing. February 11th, it's a central. Oh, I guess I already said that one. Sorry. People continue to always. So at the substation on the 30th of January, we have Beef Supreme, Hidden Gateways, which is Matt Lincoln from Florida Man's new solo project. Car and Pratt Show, Creamsicle, and Rogue Band will be playing. April 3rd, Mean Bean Records is putting on a show with Drink Fight Thugs, Drink Drink Punk, and the Wolfgangs, along with All Opposed. On March 28th, Rotten Apple Music is putting on a show with Drink Fight Thugs, They Live, Down Not Out, and others to be announced. February 15th at the Mirkwood, Chasing Oz will be playing. And February 1st at Louis G's, Dr. Crew and Kingsreich. So we all know who Queensryche is. So I wonder what Kingsreich is going to be like. April 18th at the Real Art, we have, I think I already did this one. I did because it's Head Choppa.
I've got one really quick. My friend Kurt, he's going to be playing with his band Death Fetish at the Brothers Gemini with Madcap. And I'm actually going to go out to that with Max and my friends, Adam and Masako. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Adam Hessner was one of our guests on the show a while back. And we're
that was actually going to be the next one that I read. So, so thank you.
Thank you.
Just one last page.
All right.
We have March 24th at Lola's Room, Emissary, Bad Omens, Oh Sleeper, Thousands Below, and Bloodline will be playing. February 10th at El Corazon, we have Hands of Deliverance opening up for Soulfly. That is so awesome. Our friends in Hands of Deliverance.
Yeah.
February 15th at the Airbus, we have Greyhawk, Rivet Skull, and Late Night Shiner. February 21st, F&A has their new music video release, so you might want to check that out on YouTube. February 1st at Inferno, so we have Stephen Wayne and Souls Worn Thin playing. February 1st at the Alley, Rustic Waters will be playing. March 16th at El Corazon, we have Meth X, Carnifex, Stealth, or Steeth, the Browning, Murder Weapons, and Scold. And also Murder Weapons has a brand new video out on YouTube. Definitely check them out. And here's a little thing. I might be auditioning for Murder Weapons as their drummer, so fingers crossed. I really want this one.
That's awesome.
So March 13th at Daryl's, we have Brain Cell Genocide, Late Night Shiner, and The Heats. Dante's, March 21st, we have Apophis Theory, D&D 7, Paradigm Shift, Somewhere Between, and Guests playing. April 11th at Shakers, we have Joker's Wild. On April 4th at B&V's Snack Bar, we have Joker's Wild playing. March 14th at Angry Bulls, we have Joker's Wild playing. March 27th at Hurricane Jane's, we have the Tony Drake Trio playing. El Corazon, February 29th, we have Mustard Plug, the Toasters, Mr. Blank, the Replicators, and Supersonic Battle Squad playing.
Toasters.
Right.
The Toasters,
You guys should do a show.
We
Yeah.
showed it.
And then February 8th at O'Malley's, we have Atrocity Girl and Lust for Glory playing. And last but not least, the Supersonic Battle Squad is going to be playing at the Renton Comic Con.
Nice.
So,
Congrats, guys.
my friends, is what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Thanks. And
That was a lot.
That was a lot. I can't believe we're already into May.
yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Tell
Oh,
us
in April.
guys have.
April. I'm surprised there wasn't September's.
We have
February 1st.
Yeah,
we
but
have March 1st and we have March 7th.
Okay,
yeah.
where are you playing at?
February 1st, Friday Church in Bellingham.
Cool.
I made a little promo video. You mentioned
Oh,
it.
did I not say that? I thought I did.
You did.
It was
Okay.
You did.
Oh,
Did you guys? Did you catch that promo video?
I did.
Did you like it?
Yes.
I hope it made you laugh. That was the whole point. So
It was awesome. It was so awesome.
I was up like late, and like one of those like love songs from the 90s, like those love song commercials from the 90s hit me. And you know what, like I remember, like, side note, I remember being a kid, like those were on repeat so much that you would sing the next song, like you knew what song would come on, like on those commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I was totally mocking that whole idea of
That's awesome, though.
That's great.
those Michael Bolton love albums.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Awesome.
And
Back
then we're playing at
Like
Mercury.
in the 80s, it was Kenny Loggins.
What was that?
Kenny Loggins was the Michael Bolton of the 80s.
Oh, I guess. Well, then he had his restaurant in the 90s.
Yeah, right. He's in the danger zone.
So we're playing March 1st and March 7th. Those are both at the Mirkwood in Arlington.
Oh, I love the Mercury.
Nice. That's down the street from my house. I'll have to go.
We love the Mirkwood. That's our spot. We play there all the time.
Sweet.
Maxine and I were just talking about the Mirkwood a couple days ago.
Super fun, man. Played it a couple
I
times.
really love that venue.
Yeah.
I like the food. Yeah, they always treat us
Oh, the
well.
food is amazing. Yes.
And
Good.
they give us tickets and half off on food, and they take care of us.
Yes.
I
Yes.
played a benefit show out at the Mirkwood years ago after that Ozo landslide.
Mm.
And
I
that was-
have 4 friends in that mudslide. It was horrible.
Oh shit.
you were there. Remember that? That wasn't a toast show. That was this other band that me and Michael
Copper Putt.
Copper Pot.
Oh.
Copper Pot?
Yeah.
Chester Copper Pot?
Yeah, so I was like trying to come up with a band name, and the Goonies was on, and he's like Copper Pot, just a Copper Pot. A little Asian kid yells it out, and I was like Copper Pot, the way that reeled off his tongue. I was like, I like that.
I should have worn my glasses tonight. I have these skull and crossbone glasses, and it says Goonies right on it.
Oh, they say that? That's cute. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I knew about your skulls, but I didn't know they said Goonies.
Yeah, it says Goonies on them. So Adam says, "Hey, I've been tuning in. Great show. Can't wait to hang this weekend." Yeah, Adam.
Good, Adam.
What's up, Adam?
Since I have you trapped on air, Adam,
Oh, Adam,
when are you coming over to jam with me, huh? Because like,
Ooh, it's been a while, huh? Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. We might jam a little. Hmm.
and that makes me. When am I gonna jam on your drum kit, Maxine?
Which one, Bertha or Minnie?
When I get behind Bertha, I want to try those pedals out.
Oh my God, 9,000 is the only way, babe.
I want to feel them. I'm having a really hard time. I can't.
Oh, they're so smooth.
It's hard to make the transition. Like I know, but I need my stuff like really tight and stiff.
Oh,
go listen to Toast, Adam.
Ladies, I'm gonna leave. You guys have a good
oh,
night.
you gotta head out. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I gotta get some sleep. I gotta work in the morning.
Mike,
No worries. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Here.
There it is.
Mike works graveyard.
Oh my gosh.
and
Wow.
day shift.
He's got
Bless
two
your
jobs.
heart, dude. Like,
And day shift, graveyard, and then he does the gigs. The guys, I don't know, man. I don't know where
whew. And you guys do construction, you said.
Yeah.
Whew.
it's easier.
When Adam and I used to be in a band
I've
together.
never done graveyard construction, so
Mhm.
I have.
Well, Adam and I used to be in a band together, actually the same band I'm in today. But he was also my boss at work.
Yeah.
And one night we had like a weekday show at the Blue Moon in Seattle. Because there's two Blue Moons. There's one in Everett and then there's one in Seattle. When we had a show at the one in Seattle. And we were closing that night. So we didn't get done till really late. And then we had to go clear back to Uber Beats to drop off all the equipment.
Oh.
And then I had to drive back to Marysville, catch a couple hours of sleep just to drive back to like Georgetown, Seattle, which is South Seattle.
I'd
The
probably
next morning.
stayed in King
And
County.
so the next morning, I'm just like standing there working, and Adam and I, we're just not really talking that much. And like an hour, a couple hours later, I'm like, bro, we can't do week shows if we're working the next day because I got like 2 hours of sleep because, driving from Marysville to South Seattle in the morning, like I had to be there by 9. You have to leave at like 6:30 in the morning
Mhm.
to get there on time. And sometimes that didn't even happen. So yeah, I know about having to stay up late and working the next day and like what a shit show that can be sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's reality. Good story, Crash. Yeah,
And that's how it is, like, because we're adults now.
yeah. Well, I think we're trying to fit in, like, it's trying to fit in like practice and gigs. It's all like
And family time and,
that's why it's easy to have the band in the family because we just schedule together and we practice every other day together. And now we do like a jam session and then 2 recording days and then a jam session like every other day. So you said like every day is good, but like I do workouts and I teach. So like I have to balance everything and we get a good jam in every week for like probably 3 times a week, which isn't bad.
yeah. So I don't plan on booking Toast for like the rest of March or April or May, June, maybe even like
Doing a month.
Focusing on some recording or
and learning the new set, learning new stuff.
oh yeah, gotcha.
Just, like eventually you gotta pull the plug and you gotta step away
And then come back. Yeah.
that's what winter is for. Winter is for like writing and recording.
Well, we live so far away. I mean, you guys.
So when spring and summer comes, you have new stuff to like,
yeah.
hey, guess what? We're back.
So I'm reaching out right now, currently trying to book for July, August, September, and I'll throw in once a month just so that because like last month we did 5 shows, and that was
shows.
this month, like January. That's 5 is just it's a lot.
That is a lot.
I did that in October. It is a ton.
Even 4 gets to be a lot. 3's all right. 2 is preferred. And also like doing 5, like I mean, I felt like an online prostitute. Like just
I hear
swear to God, all month, like
Even doing one show a
every
month.
week I had a new shit. It was like, hey, I got 20 tickets this week. Next week, hey, come see this show. Hey, next week, hey, I got another show. Like it was, I was oversaturating myself in the group, like there's only,
It's a lot of work to do the promo stuff, like to be that person doing the online and the social media. It is a lot.
And then, I mean, after, we played roughly 50 shows last year. And, like, I did most of the flyers for that show. Like, I was talking to Chris. It's so nice that Chris is an artist and like I'm running out of flyer ideas, you know, like I can't just keep pumping this shit out.
Well, now they have like these they have the or apps on your phone that you can just make flyers really easy. And like,
yeah, I still do them all like basically not necessarily like I would say by hand, but like I use Microsoft Paint, you know, and that's
what I use too.
Yeah, I use Paint 3D, and like I got a flyer over there in the corner that like I just got done doing, and that's.
You'll have to post it on the Musicians Hangout page.
Yeah, it's for the upcoming birthday one.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
Because it was my birthday party, so I put them all on the event pages.
That's cool.
Well, make sure that you forward those to Musicians Hangout, and we can continue to promote that stuff for
Definitely.
you.
We're all about that. We want to promote everybody, you know.
As you heard tonight, and I'm sure I forgot a couple.
But we'll get you next week, guys. You know, we'll do our best. I can't believe how many, like, it's because we've exploded online finally after 32 weeks, and everybody wants.
Yeah, when did you guys start this?
32 weeks ago.
So it was May. Oh, geez, I'd have to look at the date. It was back in May, and honestly, we started on Discord. We were just hanging out. We weren't live like this. We were fans of the podcast that quit, and we were in the chat room together. That's how Crash and I met. So we were fans of each other. We had both been guests on this podcast.
Yeah, she tuned into my show, and then I tuned into her show.
And then we would hang out on Wednesday nights. Particularly, that's when the podcast would air, and we would chat to each other, hang out, have a few drinks. You know, that was my hangout. And then when the podcast quit, we got a hold of each other and we were like, want to just hang out? So we started a group on Discord and invited other musicians in the chat to come in and talk with us about music. So we did that for 2 weeks. And then the network that had the podcast suggested, hey, you guys should go online with this. It's kind of a cool idea. So we did.
Yeah. So we did. We went to YouTube, and YouTube was using Google Hangouts at the time, which was fine. We had a lot of technical difficulties though.
We had no problems tonight. This thing is, I'm impressed by this StreamYard.
Yes, StreamYard is pretty good.
Google Hangouts was a shit show. There was always something happening. Like somebody couldn't connect, or this or that, or this or that. Yep. We ended up having to have them on Bluetooth speaker and us being on camera because Google Hangouts couldn't connect with tablets. And then all of a sudden, YouTube was like, oh, by the way, we're dropping Google Hangouts because Google Hangouts is ending. There's no more. So we don't know what you're going to do. I guess you have to come up with 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in order to do live shows.
Yeah. And there was no way we were going to do that in the amount of time. You know, like we are not podcasters. We're just musicians. We're not tech savvy. We just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk shop with other musicians.
After like hours and hours, days and days actually of looking and searching for other platforms online, Maxine came across StreamYard. And then I looked more into StreamYard because
she's the tech savvy one.
Maxine kind of knows what we need to do, but like I'm the one that's like, I know, but I
don't. I just click buttons and do what she tells me.
Yeah, and I'm the one that's always like trying to figure out, okay, now what happens if I do this? Ooh, let's not do that again. Let's exit out of that. Like
YouTube,
this one works. So I just kind of go in ahead of time and figure programs out.
Yeah. And
StreamYard has been awesome.
It has.
It works on everything.
User friendly. Like I don't get confused by StreamYard. I'm confused by everything on the computer. So
me too. I'm having to learn it all myself. Like taking care of
StreamYard, it's click a link.
Accept the
it,
microphone.
and then boom, there you are.
Yep. And as long as you have a really good Wi-Fi connection, it works. When we've had technical difficulties, not by StreamYard, but during StreamYard, because we either lose internet or electricity, or someone else doesn't have a good Wi-Fi connection. Like, there are still glitches, but tonight has been really good.
Tonight has been awesome, and you guys have been amazing too.
Heck yeah.
Guests, very entertaining. Like, I can't believe it's almost already 9 o'clock.
Knowledgeable, fun.
You guys really made everything just go by really super fast.
Yeah,
So
Before we go though, I want to talk drums. Like, what kind of kit do you have back there? Come on. What kind of heads do you have?
Yeah, that's my brand new. That was my Christmas gift to myself.
Yay! Merry Christmas.
Well, come on, tell me what it is. Like,
I got it's the DW Performance Series, or it's.
Oh, ooh la la.
It was a nice kit.
Yeah.
what kind of heads you got on it?
Design series.
Oh, the design series.
Primo heads.
What kind of Remos?
Shit, I don't know.
They're the clear ones with the black fucking dots. I'm not a drummer. I was at Hugo Helmer looking to go buy a guitar and an amp.
Now I know how guitar people feel like when they're all telling me their stuff. Yeah, I got this bridge and this and that. And I'm just like,
Is that a moon gels?
Those are like
Moon gels. Yes.
What is it? What is it? Moon gels. Yeah.
moon gels. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't leave home without them.
yeah.
Okay, well, I would have to go into another room to go get my moon gels, but
But I got that drum kit from the music store for about 60% off, and I couldn't walk away from that kind of deal.
Heck no. Heck no. Oh, I remember talking about this with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were listed at like $8.99, and I was like, "How much?" And he's like, "These are $2,000 drums." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll take it."
they're beautiful.
Yeah,
You guys saw mine. It's like the blue kit.
Yes.
yeah. And then Maxine, we did talk about this because you had the
She had the little red one,
I had the little
mini
leg.
one.
I know.
Yeah, with the tiny bass drum.
Yeah, it's like 16. Is it 16 inches?
16-inch. Yep, that's my.
Oh my god! So it's smaller than my floor tom.
So that's my.
that was like the Roots drum kit, right?
Yes, Questlove. So it's got a lot of plump for a little girl. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I wanted that same kit. Like you got like the seafoam.
I
teal.
highly recommend it. Yes, it's a fun
Well,
kit to play. It's good for the road. That's why I got it for the road, so I would be able to, carry my drums anywhere.
Maxine.
Yeah, as a guitarist, I was looking at that one because it matched my guitar. It'd sit in the corner of the room better.
Yes, it would.
This thing gobbles up half the room.
Yours.
So I got Bertha.
Mine-
Bertha's my recording girl now. Like, I used to take Bertha on the road. Oh, backwards.
Yeah. Okay.
We take Chris's on the road. This one stays here.
This is Tank. It's where is it?
Oh my god! So side note. So you guys name your drums.
Look at this thing. This thing is enormous.
You guys have named your drums.
Yes.
Yes.
Chris, you named your drums.
I stopped doing that because I would feel
Because we
obligated
have
to
7.
name each individual piece.
The whole
Yeah, right. That's what I should do is give it a last name.
So there you go.
You
So
can't-
I just call my drum kit Tank because it's.
That'll work.
I mean, I have. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7. It's a 7-piece.
When did you guys get your first drum kit?
I was 23, and Max got it for me for Valentine's Day.
Oh, sweet.
I was 36. I was a late bloomer because I played bass for a long time. Even though my heart was always in drums. And I got it from one of the local bands. They're no longer together, called Under the Red Door.
Uh-huh. What kind of music was it? What style of music were they?
Metal.
Yeah.
And when I got them, it's a PDP drum kit, and I absolutely love it. But the heads were just tore up. the cymbals that came with them were all cracked and chipped and just sound like garbage can lids. I put a lot of work into it. Like I fired it all up and I put new heads on it. Obviously I have new cymbals and stuff, but man, because every piece to that drum kit except for the heads, no, not the heads, except for the cymbals and the snare, everything, new heads, everything has come from somebody in the music industry that I feel like my drum kit is like worth $1 billion.
That's how I feel right now. I got brand new cymbal pack, and I had never heard brand new cymbals before. Like every drummer I've ever had like used cymbals, you know. And like these things like,
dude, they sound so crisp. And they
sound so good.
It's like
yes.
Yeah.
My Glide is the newest I have, and it rings like.
You ever had a brand new cymbal?
The only cymbal that I've gotten brand new was a Splash, little one.
Ooh, I have a little trash former.
Yeah,
and it's all wavy. Like it looks like somebody went and smashed on a.
I'm thinking about Splashes. Like I got like 3 or 4 of them before I found one that I actually liked, and that's what I have on my set all the time.
Here's the thing about cymbals. And not only do they have to sound good to you personally, they have to sound good with your shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have to be even with your tone.
Like if I still, when I go to the pawn shops, I'll keep an eye out for them because I don't mind getting used ones. I've even gotten some vintage cymbals with one of the Thomas sets. Actually, it was a perk. Like I bought the Thomas set, and they're like, okay, there's some stuff in the back that goes with it, and then they come out with all this hardware and cymbals, and I'm like, well, shit, that's almost as much as the freaking drum set itself, because some of these cymbals, I'm sure, were older than me. They were Zildjians, but it wasn't printed on there, and I could tell by how thick they were. I got excited.
Yeah.
Because they really don't make them like they used to.
They don't.
Yeah.
I hate my Zildjian cymbals, but you know, I got more bang for my buck because I bought a big old fat Zildjian cymbal pack.
Yeah.
And I got
So I learned something. So like when I was at the music store, they were telling me like, do you want like forged or stamped? It's like, I think that was what they said to me, like for the cymbals.
That might be the difference that I'm talking about.
And like, it's like the cheaper ones, they'll just fucking stamp them like sheet metal, like soup cans.
Oh yeah.
And then like mine are like or casted, not forged, but casted. Like the cymbals I got were literally, they must have been poured metal in a cast.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, guys, unfortunately, we are out of time.
But it's been awesome. It's been
You guys
so
have been
We're gonna
amazing.
have to do this again because I was just about to ask you one more question.
Just do it. Let's do it. Why
Let's
not?
It was a two-part question.
Okay.
Sneaking it on.
And it was basically, I wanted to like, what was your guys' like first, both of you, what was your guys' like first influences, like attachment to music, like when you were young, like, you know, and then what was the first type like album or band that you got into, like that your parents didn't buy for you? And then like, what are you into right now?
That's 3.
Well, that's like,
Okay, I can answer those pretty quickly, actually.
I need to think about this one a little bit.
I could sing Beach Boys, Bob Moran before I knew the alphabet when I was 2.
Nice.
So Beach Boys were a big influence on me, but also Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. And my first CD that I ever owned was given to me by my uncle, and it was Metallica's Reload. And I had cassettes. I had a lot of cassettes, like different bands, but you know, it was a newer Metallica. I was really into Metallica. But then like my first CD that I ever bought was Rob Zombie's Dracula. So that was a really, you know, influential album for me. And who I listen to now, I listen to a lot of Shinedown. I listen to a lot of Ozzy's new stuff. I'm an Ozzy fan inside and out, so everything Ozzy I still listen to. I listen to Lita Ford still. I'm a big Heart fan, Joan Jett, Pantera, and let's see, Soulfly, and Damage Plan.
That's awesome. So
I
for
like
me,
a lot of local stuff too, like a lot of local musicians.
yeah.
Too. And that's what I'm about. I'm about the local music, man.
So for me, I guess my first bands would have been Cheech and Chong, Jesus Christ Superstar, Janis Joplin.
What, like the soundtrack to Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yes, like yeah. Hey, son of Hosanna. Yeah, I know all that, like big time. And like growing up, like one of my favorite, the first albums that my parents didn't have that I bought was John Cougar, and that was back when he was just called John Cougar.
John Cougar, yeah.
And but I also had the Beach Boys too, because I love the Beach Boys.
Gotta love it.
I got into like some really weird stuff, like Susie and the Banshees and U2 and Sex Pistols and stuff. And when I started playing bass, the first thing I ever learned on bass, besides a scale, because I don't feel like scales count, the first song was Metallica's Anesthesia Pulling Teeth, the Cliff Burton solo. And I remember figuring it out on tab and then like trying to play with him. And it was just a no-go. That guy is just super fast. Like he's just like I'm just like I mean I can still like play some of it, but yeah, what I still listen to today, I listen to a lot of Double Driver. Double Driver's my favorite.
Good. Yeah.
I listen to a punk band from the East Coast called Building Better Bombs, and their vocalist / guitarist, he has his own record company called Doomtree Records. And he's also in a rap band or rap group or solo. He has a solo thing called POS. And he's also in Doomtree after his record company. And they are just amazing. He's actually a big influence in my life. He had cancer, survived it, was in a skateboarding accident. He killed his kidneys, both of them. He was on dialysis. And a fan donated one of their kidneys to him. So
that's right.
Yeah, so that he could go back and go on touring. And I'm just like, that is a dedicated fan right there. Like, my kidneys, like, I don't know, man. I've only been to a couple of your shows, but other than that, like, I mostly just listen to local music. Like, I have no idea what is even going on in the radio world right now.
A lot of the bands that we promote, we've either played with, listened to, or both. And yeah, as you were talking, Crash, I thought of some other bands that influenced me. Alice in Chains sounds very Tool.
It's hard to like narrow those down because there are so many bands that influence me. Like it depends what kind of mood am I in today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I mean, yes.
Yeah. Cool question. Yeah, thanks for asking.
That is a great question. And yes, we will definitely have to have you guys on again, and maybe next time we can have you guys like play a song or two for us.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't distort camera speaker.
You'd be surprised. We've been able to have.
Yeah. If you guys are far enough back, it won't destroy it.
It could work. We've had it work before. So
you have to pick the right song too.
Think about it.
Do the most clear.
We'll do acoustic.
There you go. Acoustic.
Yeah. You know, we'll all do a show together someday again. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mirkwood, hey, call us.
You'll have to invite us out to Squint.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can invite you.
We'll have to do it where it's more loose situation because at the what was the name of the place?
Columbia.
At the Columbia, it was such a tight. They were really on a schedule.
Right. They're a lot more like laid back here. Like, oh yeah, you'll go at 7:30, and then
You gotta go somewhere where people can sit in with other bands and we can.
Yeah, and I don't. They booked too many bands for that night.
They did. It was like punch them out, get them done, and we didn't even know if we were going to go on stage because we were last. So
I know that would have made me so angry.
And we punched it out, guys. We set up as quick as we could. We threw it down as fast as we could, and then we hit it and quit it, and we were done.
My band, we even had a short set list.
We were like 23 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded the music, just boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
By the third song, I was like, we're not letting up. Like, we're just gonna keep hitting it.
We were 25 minutes in. We only played 5, maybe 6 songs, and they were short songs, and yeah. And we were first? Yeah, we were first. I always like to set up first because of my huge kid. It's always easier. Anyway,
I like playing first. I like opening.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning
so much,
in.
guys.
Having us.
Just love having you. Thank you so much for being our guest, and it was awesome to hang out with you again.
Definitely.
Thank you guys for inviting us out.
Absolutely. We'll hang out.
Ian, you want to take us out?
Absolutely.
That's my favorite part.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. See you next week.
Have a good night and happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
All right.